What's going on, everybody? It's your man, Cleveland Terry, and today we are going to quickly talk about one of my favorite products from the mobile DJ perspective. Now, you guys know that a little while ago I talked a little bit about the Mackie Thump Go and the Denon Prime Go as a truly wireless solution, and I had demoed the Sennheiser wireless microphone transmitter and receiver, and I had brought up the fact that it distorts when you get on the microphone. It distorts when you put loud volume, loud decibels into the transmitter. A lot of people were a little annoyed by me. They said, "Oh, well, you're an idiot. Why would you even use those for that? There are so many other options out there." And of course, I said, look, this is what a lot of people have used in the past. So I had them. Why not try them? Okay. Fast forward to maybe a couple of weeks ago, and the company XVIVE, I believe that's how you pronounce their name, XVIVE, contacted me and said, "Hey, we want you to review our products." And I looked at what their products were and I said immediately, "Send me the U3s. I want to take a look at those. Those are their XLR versions. I want a stereo set because I want to be able to demonstrate that they do work in stereo." They sent them to me. I've been using them for the past 3 weeks now. And when I tell you they're one of my favorite products, I really, really mean it. It's the one time where I have used something in multiple situations and it has not failed me yet. So let's pull these guys out. These are, again, X5 U3 wireless transmitter and receiver. And they're not the smallest size, but if you were to compare them to the Sennheisers, you can see they're about the same length. They might be a little bit wider, but they're about the same length. And they're designed to be used as both wireless transmitters and as a microphone transmitter. Now, one of the things I didn't like about the Sennheisers, and the first thing I said was, why would they make a transmitter that only works with microphones? You should be able to just hit a 10 decibel drop off and be able to use this in your standard line in situations. Well, not in this one, but in the X-Vives, definitely in there. And oh my God, they have been a lifesaver. So I have used these things a couple of different ways. One way is for cocktail hour. And typically speaking, we might sit in a room and then cocktail might be in the adjacent room or right outside the doors. And normally I would bring a cocktail speaker and have like a wireless Bluetooth iPad or, my phone or something like that plugged in or it's transmitting wirelessly the sound. And that way I can still control what's going on, but it doesn't have to necessarily be like right next to it because I don't necessarily want to keep all of my super expensive stuff sitting all in one area for somebody to just pick up and go. Down here, there's a wall blocking, there's some glass, and it's all the way off into the outside room in the corner. And it's still pretty solid. And more importantly, if this is sitting outside with the cocktail speaker, when we're doing opening dance set and we're setting up for people to come into the main room, now we can get on the microphone and literally tell people, "Ladies and gentlemen, the room is open. Please come on in." They can hear us say it. I don't have to send people out there to announce it. That's fantastic. I use it at a place called Skirball Cultural Center, and it's a semi-large place. It holds, 300 to 400 people. The room is a kind of a half circle, but the cocktail hour extends on the topper part of the half circle. There's a lot of concrete, there's a lot of glass, so I figured, hey, I might as well give it a try. So I took it outside, brought it all the way around. When I first set it up right in front of the concrete, it had a little issue. Unsurprisingly, I was a great distance away from the receiver. So all I did was kind of bump it over to the glass part, and sure enough, didn't have any other problems. That was setup one. On the same party, we were using the house sound for the venue, but I did have to add a little more audio because I wasn't getting a good center channel for the house sound. All right, so for my booth, so I'd have to run a cable. I do have it sitting here wirelessly. Real convenient, especially when we're trying to run around and make things happen quickly. The following weekend, again, I used it for cocktail hour, and I also needed to use it as a secondary microphone. This is where the switchable mic and line come into play, because basically when you switch it to mic all it's doing is just giving it a 10 decibel gain. And that's all you really need. I was able to switch back and forth, and I could definitely hear that the sound increased. But again, nothing off the noise floor. It still remained clean. And I was a big fan of that. Now, one thing I will say, if you're dealing with multiples, if you're dealing with like a stereo pair, you have multiples of these, it's very important that you make sure the transmitter and receivers aren't on the same channels. Now, as you see here, I have numbered these. That way I know which one goes to what, because what happened is I had one of mine going into my monitor. All right. So it was going right out of the booth, out of the Rain 1 into my monitor. It was working perfectly. When I had to get the mic going, I took the other one and I popped it into the mic, turned it on. Horrible, horrible feedback. And then I realized that they were all operating from the default channel 1. So if you have multiples of these, you can literally take these and then pop them all on channel 1 and then have multiple speakers tap all these guys in, and you're going to be good to go. There are 6 possible usable channels, and I will tell you that just going from channel 1 to channel 2, it was truly clear. So it's not like you have to go, oh, well, I'm on channel 1, let me bump this to channel 3 because I want to make sure there's enough space in between. It doesn't matter. Channel 2 is dedicated channel 2, and you don't get any bleed in. So that works on a microphone. If you are curious how they do sound on a microphone, well, let's pop this guy in here. 2, 2, 2. Okay, so this is the microphone set to mic, so it's giving you the 10 decibel increase, and it sounds good. If I were to take the mic and switch it to line, you can hear my volume goes down. But again, if you're listening for the noise floor, you're not hearing any additional or a drop off. So if I turn it back on, the noise floor doesn't really move, but you can still hear me nice and crisp. I sound good on it. It has a really good range, which is the most important part. The range on this thing is really, really good. So I'm going to go back to my regular microphone. Okay, so as you can hear, there is a slight bit of noise floor, but that's to be kind of expected on a wireless system versus an analog system. But you don't hear that noise in the speakers. I'm a big fan of these. Now, what did I also use it for? Okay, this weekend, again, I used it for my cocktail speaker. I was going to use it in my system as a stereo setup, and I had it originally set up for that, but then we had a little bit of an issue. You see, the montage guy had already set up everything. So when he asked me, what do I use? I said I use a XLR input. So his box was only XLR output ready. So what I did was I took my XLR, popped it in to his transmitter, and then popped this guy into my Bose L1 on channel 2, and I ran both speakers in mono. That way channel 1 and channel 2 would feed into both speakers. We were good to go. Was able to do it completely wireless. When I tell you that I'm in love with these things, I really, really mean it. Now, the XVIVE U3 currently are on sale for $159 per set. That's a great, great price. I would recommend getting 2 of them. I would recommend, so you could either go into stereo mode, or if you need to, you can run one into your speaker, and then you can still have one directly for your microphone. As I said before, this is really good for being able to really push your system. You don't get any distortion. You don't get any clipping, any of the gain reductions that you will on some of the other systems out there. This is a true wireless system that can do both microphone and line in. And for that, I won't be getting rid of these. The distance is good. The quality is good. I'm a big fan of the XVIVE U3s. Now, the only thing I'm not a fan of, and it's not their fault, is the fact that they are still, I believe this is what, micro USB? I think it's micro USB. Either way, it's not USB-C like all the other products that have been coming out, because it isn't, I don't want to say it's an older product, but it's not a new model. I'm sure that at a certain point they will come out with a USB-C version. But the good thing is, at least at a minimum, they have a single USB cable that breaks out. So you only need one cable to charge them. Do like that. The charging is super fast. I think I plugged them in and then they were charged in like maybe, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes, at least from where they were initially set up from the last time I used them. So charging is really good. 5 hours of battery life. Again, $159 for the single setup here. So basically you're looking at a little over like $320, give or take, for a complete stereo pair. Guys, I'm a big fan of these X5s, U3s. I will continue to use them. I have been using them. There's no reason for me not to use them. I'm basically what I'm trying to do at a certain point is go completely wireless. Anything to make my life easier, I love. These guys definitely make my life easier. Check them out on Amazon, XVIVE U3s. You're going to become a fan of them just like I am. All right, guys, if you found what I said are useful, hit that like button. If you found what I said are really useful, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you follow me on the Instagrams and the Twitters. Get on my Discord because that's where we're talking about all things Cleveland Terry. And make sure you watch the Wake Up in Cleveland show, also known as Tech Tuesday on Twitch and Tech Thursday on YouTube. Guys, girls, always a pleasure. If I don't talk to you later, we'll talk soon. Peace.